everyone. Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
It's the Flesh Eating Crew here. We're doing the pro show.
I'm the Zipper Crew.
Right.
The Flesh Eating part.
That's right. So we'll go ahead and.
Dude, did you just get all like?
I did. I just.
That's
Very-
kind of like Conan does that.
Right.
It's like special guest tonight, Tom Hanks.
Keith's like a fucking ninja over here.
Yeah. I'm Nick.
I'm Rob.
Oh, I'm Kelly, I
And
guess.
I'm Keith, I guess.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about what's on everyone's mind right now.
Sure.
Right.
Austin.
The pretty much the thing.
Huh?
Food.
Food.
No. Yeah, the Chechenian guys.
Well, American. One guy was
Well,
American.
No, they're
No,
Chechenian
both-
brothers,
They're
dude.
brothers.
They're from
I know,
Chechnya,
but one
is
guy
American.
was an American citizen.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but they're still
That's very
Chechenyan.
different.
I mean,
They're from.
like
Sure.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is
I
still
was born
Austrian.
in Turkey, but I'm still American.
Yeah, but you were born on American soil.
Okay, well, so?
Dingbat. So yeah, the Chechenian brothers, the pressure cooker twins. I guess
Sure.
I'm going to call them.
Wow.
I know it's terribly irreverent of me to say that, but I don't want to dignify them by using their proper names because they're just a couple of assholes.
Exactly.
We can't
Yeah.
even pronounce it
Yeah, I
anyway,
couldn't even
so-
tell you how.
Yeah, it's-
how it was even.
I had it worked out in my head
There's a T in there.
earlier,
I did too.
but
Heard it all over the news.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
don't
not
know how
common
to say.
names. It's not like you would say those names.
right,
Like, hey,
Keith.
yeah.
What?
Right.
But no, crazy. Everything came down to an end today, like hours ago.
right.
They caught the second dude.
Yeah. So the older brother was killed in the wee hours of this morning.
And his brother ran him over.
Is that what happened?
Well, that's
Yeah.
speculative.
See, I had read
I
that
heard a
like
good source.
Yeah,
I read that the
CNN,
police
Fox News.
tackled the older brother.
Sure, it's also.
And then he was critically injured. I figured that he was like tackled and maybe his head hit the curb or something and gave him a skull fracture, and then he was pronounced dead at the hospital.
I saw.
But I suppose they could have tackled him and then his brother ran him over. I don't know.
I saw the photo of him in the hospital, dead, and
Yeah, I saw that too.
yeah, he was. It's pretty fucked up.
It's pretty loose.
Was he?
Yeah,
Like,
he was. Yeah, there's big ass gash for they're doing surgery, and like it looked like his arms were broken, and his chest looked like it was kind of collapsed in, and there's
Okay.
bullet holes. So
Cool.
so,
all right.
yeah.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
so yeah, some stuff. Yeah,
So that's over.
In the immortal words of me, fuck him.
yeah.
Well, what I thought was very interesting was, a lot of people, whether watching this on the news, on TV, where I decided to go on Reddit and watch the live blog of someone who was listening to a scanner, and I felt like that I got more information through that than say like CNN, and it was CNN and all those other news affiliates were they're just repeating the same news that was probably old over and over again, and doing interviews with someone who was like 50 yards away from what was going on, and
Right.
whoa, how did it feel when you heard the shots?
Right.
I don't know.
Tell us how that affected you emotionally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what are you, Dr. Phil? Let's do some news. Let's talk about the jagoff that just got shot.
Exactly.
And the Onion
Wow.
was awesome today.
I love the Onion.
Yeah, they were just awesome with their headlines because they were hitting mainstream media. Breaking news. There is no breaking news.
Right. Well, I like the one with the FBI. We're talking about leaving it up to 311 mouth breathing morons.
Yeah, that was the best.
So brother number one killed. Brother number two captured within the last few hours.
Yeah.
Was he wounded as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He shot, and they actually like.
Don't be
tracked him
speculative.
because he was bleeding
Okay.
based on the person who was there.
There's blood.
There was blood,
and he's
like,
being taken to the
bloody
hospital.
Well, they have a
Nice.
picture of him being arrested.
No speculation
Yeah?
there.
He looks like he's
Pale.
well. He's bloody. His face is bloody.
Well, he probably
Sure.
kicked his ass a little bit, which
Yeah, it was
Okay.
because, and it was crazy too. Is when we go back to the whole citizen journalism shit, because I did exactly the same thing that you did. Is as soon as I heard about the stuff, I took to Reddit first because those guys were on top of it. They're always on top of it. Because,
Except the pre-investigation part.
Sure.
Like
Okay. So
anything
they,
before that.
Reddit has a thing about jumping the gun. Any kind of journalism jumps the gun. Shit. I mean, you look at New York Post, jumping the gun.
That was,
Yeah.
And,
what
you
they
know,
did was
yeah, and then
worse.
CNN also jumped the gun by saying, oh, people were captured when they weren't. So,
Right.
I mean, everybody jumps the gun. It's just, it looks more of a massive scale because it was a massive scale.
You know,
it wasn't just one thing. It was thousands of people on Reddit that were jumping the gun.
You know who doesn't jump the gun?
Gun, flushing zipper.
No, well,
That's right.
That's right. Will McAvoy.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
he doesn't.
But yeah, so it was nice to see because I was having an issue with connecting to the police scanner, and somebody I saw the live blogging in there too. Right. So I was like, all right, like good.
Honestly, this was the most exciting like last few hours or whatever 24 hours that like I've witnessed because it was almost like I was
there
because I was listening and watching the police scanners.
Except and it sucks because because when you listen, I don't know if you heard it where they're like open mic, and it's like, why do we even have police scanners anymore if they're not gonna use them for this stuff? It's just like it's just they're all like open mic, turn off the channel, call the guy out by name because he's got his mic on.
Yeah,
and,
the emergency.
And then it's like, okay, so like I don't get it. Like I just sometimes like I understand like why they can't, but it's like I don't know. I want to be able to hear like maybe I want special privileges to be able to be on those FBI calls.
You want to pay $50 a year so you can get exclusive police scanner access.
Yeah, when they're like, all right, radio silence. It's like I want to have access to the radio silence. Like, can I just hear it and just sit there and be like, wow, this is interesting as shit,
Yeah.
Well, you could plant a bunch of bugs.
Sure. Or the other thing is what a lot of people say is, why don't you just join the FBI or something? No. If you want access to that stuff, why don't you join the place that you can get access? Yeah, it's like, but I don't.
Just do like watchdogs all over the country.
Right. Yeah. So I guess if I become crazy awesome
so you could
hacker.
hack the police bands and everything, and turn their microphones on when they don't know they're
exactly. Yeah. If I was awesome, I could maybe do something like that.
Probably
and then
not.
I have the ultimate privilege.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
So another thing I heard, they searched the apartment of these morons and found a plethora of explosives in there, explosive devices.
Was it
more
apartment or
pressure cooker
house?
bombs. Apartment. That's what I saw on the ticker. They had searched their apartment, found a ton of explosive devices. I guess during the car chase. So the timeline is the brothers went to MIT, shot a guard there.
Yep.
Who was unfortunately later pronounced dead. Fucking assholes. Not the guard, the guys. They carjacked an SUV. Kept the owner of the SUV hostage for about half an hour, let him go, went to a 7-Eleven, which they're not sure if they robbed or not.
Yeah,
I guess.
they're saying that they went to get gas.
Right, and there's conflicting reports. Right. They either robbed it or they didn't rob it. Mm-hmm. Then they got some surveillance footage of the younger brother, who was the one that was just captured, at an ATM. And then I guess car chase ensues, and the two brothers are throwing explosive devices out of the vehicle during the car chase.
One that they had.
Yeah, I was reading on the New York
Times.
Times on their timeline. They said like explosive devices, plural, like they're chucking out of the car.
Yeah, but none of that stuff was ever confirmed. I mean,
Right.
It's so hard.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one. Yeah, but it's so hard to take all these guys for granted now, or or to take their word as
what I want to
word.
know is like when did the guy have a chance to I gotta go to the ATM to get some cash out
Right.
in the middle of all this?
Right.
What?
He's like, I need some pork rinds, bro. And the place around the corner, they don't take credit cards, so we got to hit the ATM so I can score them pork rinds.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's clear these guys had no end game whatsoever.
No.
Because otherwise, I mean, you go to the ATM, there's gonna be a camera taking a picture of you. They have your account information. Come on, really?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think what happened is the brothers. I believe that the bombings at the marathon were a test run.
Yeah.
They were setting up for something bigger. I think they had no idea that they were going to get caught so fast.
No. I think what was bizarre is that originally these were two totally disconnected things. You had the marathon bombings, and then last night MIT shooting. That's weird.
Right.
And then oh shit, it's the same guys.
Right.
Yeah. This morning. Yeah.
It was hours later.
Right, but
these are the same dudes.
they were able to
painted
give
themselves.
pictures of these guys, really quickly. So I'm sure they're thinking like, holy shit, they know who we are. We've got to step up. And like, there was probably a plan. I'm guessing it had something to do with MIT, because it's just strange that they would just show up at MIT.
Might have been somewhere where they're staying. I don't know.
Well, the kid went to MIT. I mean, the people were speculating that he was at parties that whole week too. So yeah, we don't know. But I mean, it's one of those things. It's just crazy because when I was talking to Nick last night, I was like, holy shit, shooting at MIT, that's crazy. I can't believe that Boston's having this much crap after this and this. And what actually turned me on to the news this morning was the station that I listen to, a hip hop station in the morning. They actually had a news break in that was like, hey, there's some breaking news in Boston, turned to one of these channels. And I was like, whoa, some shit must be going down now. Right. And that's when I heard about Boston being on lockdown. And that's crazy in itself too. Like
over 1 million people in lockdown.
It was over 4 million people that were told to stay indoors. Yeah, because it's the greater Boston area, which was over 4 million.
They shut down like Amtrak.
They shut down everything. They told businesses not to open.
Right.
Everybody there, and then it was. I mean, that's nuts. Like, because it's crazy too, because it's like, is that pretty much martial law?
No. The martial law is when the government steps in and basically says, at this point, the military is going to take over all police activities.
Gotcha.
So the military now runs this city or this area.
Gotcha. So
last time that happened was Katrina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a lockdown?
No, it was they declared martial law.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? So what is like? It just blows my mind. Like when it's like you can just tell an entire city like no.
Yeah.
Like that's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I mean the citizens. If you say like, look, the city's locked down, the citizens can still choose to, if they want, like try to creep outside and do whatever.
Right.
But
you're not going to be able to get around anywhere because they're blocking all the streets.
Right. But it's good that there weren't, a whole bunch of people like had a big fit over the situation. It's kind of like everybody was willing to do what they could do to help these two idiots get caught.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of which, there's a lot of uproar right now over like Fourth Amendment rights being violated. Like, we're going house to house.
Search and seizure.
Yeah, we're going through your stuff. We're going through your house right now, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I got you. See, and I was talking to somebody about this. It's like that. Like, let's say I wouldn't be happy for these guys, but let's say somebody had some kind of drug deal thing that they were going, and they got like all their drugs just kind of chilling everywhere, and it's like, can you just tell the cops like, hey, I'll let you come and search for the guy, but everything else you don't see shit, right?
No, it's like you constitutionally you can say no, you cannot come into my house without a warrant.
Right.
Sure.
And so that's what I mean. It's like we're going in anyway.
Yeah, that's
there's a lot of
technically
that's when the Homeland Security kicks in and is like, sorry, this overrides your constitutional rights.
No, nobody can override your constitutional rights. Yeah, let's say for example we were in Boston and we had 10 pounds of cocaine sitting in the middle of the table. And the police showed up, knock on the door and said, we're going to come in and search for these guys. And we said, no, you're not. And they said, yeah, look, you don't have a choice. We're coming in and search for those guys. The police officers enter. They see 10 pounds of cocaine in the middle of the table. Let's assume they arrest us. That cocaine is not admissible as evidence because it wasn't found during a legal search.
Right.
So anything there could be.
That's like borderline entrapment.
Yeah, there could be, like you could have your entire house just growing pot and cocaine and hookers and all kinds of shit going on, and they cannot do any. Yeah, you can grow hookers now. Yeah, they can't do anything about it. If they were to arrest you, all of the evidence would be thrown out in court because your Fourth Amendment right protects you against that. On the other hand, though, my belief is fucking let them in.
Yeah,
well,
no,
that's a personal basis though. Like, you're permitting them. That's totally different.
Regardless, I think in a situation like that, and
like, who would say no if like super dangerous, violent dude? Like, who would say no?
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. It's like, well, if you did say or did say no, you have the right to.
You do, and I guess that's to me where I can't decide whether I think you should be allowed to or not in a situation like that. I mean,
then you can slippery slope, like anyone can.
Right, exactly. And that's the problem. You do run into slippery slope, but like on the other hand, like these people they're fucking terrorists.
No, so the point is
I guess
like, hey, these dudes are idiot. You know, these Boston citizens are idiots for letting them in. It's these guys are going, the FBI and that are going in without permission anyway.
And
that's the
right. I guess my feeling on it is, if in a situation like that, if the police show up and you're like, no, you can't search my house, you're an asshole.
Sure, but
like constitutionally, you have the right to say no. But yeah,
okay.
But
So
you're an asshole.
out of all of us here, would somebody say no?
I wouldn't say no.
It depends. No.
What do you mean, Nick? It depends.
Yeah.
Okay, this situation. That's what I'm saying.
This exact
I
situation.
would say go ahead.
Yeah, this exact situation.
Like we're armchair quarterbacking commentary here. But
I'm just asking you a question. I'm putting you. It's just like the fucking PC Xbox thing. How do you say you don't know?
Say that. Like if you don't know what the fuck's going on, you have no paying attention to anything that's going on right now, and like some heavily armored super fucking dudes.
Okay,
like,
so if you don't pay
house.
attention, I just said this situation. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because most of these times when they're doing this,
No, I've already said that if I were like at my computer, and like I probably wouldn't even be at my house. Like I would be gone.
Sure, okay, but now you're just dragging this shit on without answering the question.
But you're setting up this crazy situation.
No, that's not a fucking crazy situation. This shit was happening all day. There was nothing crazy about the situation.
I'm saying if I were like say the next house over or something, and like they needed to access my woodshed.
Your fucking house.
Yes. No, because they had like
Let's just answer the fucking question.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. They have like photos of like people like police like on
I don't
top
give
of
a
the shed.
fuck.
If they needed to use my house for that, sure. Okay.
Oh my
but
God.
If I had no clue what was going on.
We're not talking about cops and Robertsons.
You would have a clue.
Sure.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what I'm saying is that
all those people had a fucking clue what was going on.
Yeah,
if somebody's living under a fucking rock, I don't want them in my fucking planet. Seriously, they don't know what the fuck's going on.
It's happening at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Bullshit. They started doing the searches around 11 o'clock.
All right. 11
So
o'clock.
that's after they announced the whole lockdown too, which wasn't at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Here, but
your devil's advocate is fucking wrong.
You know, no,
Wow,
it's not
wow,
because
wow.
It's constitutionally covered.
No, I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying because
okay, Obama, you don't give a fuck. Wow.
No, I'm just coming from
Vote Reagan.
I'm coming from a point where I bet you they had multiple cops driving down streets letting people know.
Oh, I'm sure they have like flyers and stuff. Yeah.
Flyers, cops on bullhorns, because that's how it is in any emergency situation. They let the public know. If you're too retarded to be watching TV or knowing what's going on, they're gonna let you know by driving up and down the street. They do that shit all the time because they know people are fucking retarded.
Time, if, like,
so you're informed.
At the same. All right, we'll flip that over. Say they're up and down the streets, okay, and they're already covering the street. Why do you need access to my house?
Because the person might have broken into your home and you don't know about it.
Don't know.
Yeah, they could be in your house and you don't know.
So now you're fucking anti-American is what you are.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Now
you're constitutional.
For me, if I had been watching the news and I saw that these particular retards were running around, running amok, I would actually be sitting on the couch with my shotgun.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And
it's like, I've got it, guys.
I was thinking of that, but then
I got this. Don't worry, bro.
I was thinking of that exact same thing, but then I was thinking like, oh shit, what if I'm sitting on my couch with my gun and I didn't realize, and a cop like peeks in and they think that something else is going on, like something escalated, and I'm just trying to protect myself, but they don't know that yet because they're just peeking in.
They know what the suspect looks like.
Yeah,
so they're not gonna, like,
you don't look anything like one of the aforementioned retards.
Exactly.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
You got a white cap on or something.
They were arresting.
Why would you be wearing?
They arrested other people too. So I mean, who knows if they.
Right.
Who knows who those other people were, if they're involved with that, or if they had cocaine sitting on their desk or whatever.
Well, but chances are, if a police officer was to come look into your window and you're sitting on the couch with a shotgun, they're not just going to draw their gun and start shooting at you. They're going to cop knock your door, and everybody knows what cop knock sounds like. So you're going to be sitting on the couch and hear the fucking bang, bang,
exactly
bang.
What it is.
Yeah, you'll know. The first time a cop knocks on your door, you'll know it's a cop. And I mean, unless you're a complete freak of nature, you're going to say something like, who the fuck is it? You're not just going to start blasting holes in the door,
Kelly might.
No,
Kelly
might.
Castle Doctrine.
Nick wouldn't even answer the door. He'd just be sitting there looking at him like, I'm not even here. Fuck you guys. I don't know what's going on with my shotgun.
The
Constitution says that I'm gonna kill you if you walk through Castle
See that
Doctrine.
thing hanging over my wall?
Yeah, Castle-
Confederate flag.
Castle Doctrine actually does not apply to police. But
Wow.
no, yeah, I mean, it's not like the cops were serving no-knock warrants. They weren't just busting people's doors down. You know, they were going house to house. They were knocking. They were announcing themselves. And, you know, in a situation like that, like I said, I'd be sitting on the couch with my shotgun. I would hear the knock. I would immediately inform them that I am armed.
Sure.
And I would open the door with the shotgun in my hand. I've done it before. I've had police come and knock on the door here when I've had, you know, been wearing my gun because there was gunshots in the neighborhood, and I've told them, I am armed, I'm opening the door.
Yeah, and most of them are completely cool as long as they know what the situation is.
Right.
So.
By the way, Flushing Zipper is in a gated community.
Super gated. We're double gated.
Yeah, we have triple protection.
So do you think after all of this has happened, do you think just the way crimes like this happen, do you think it's going to maybe stop?
It's going to get
because
so
just how
weird.
fast they found these people and like
No, because people like this, while they may be technically smart,
right,
they're dumbasses.
Exactly.
They've got whatever agenda it is, whether it's a religious agenda or a political agenda or social agenda. They've got their agenda, and that's all they care about.
Well, the other thing is that, like, even if it's one or two of you, and you're like super geniuses, like, you can't outsmart an army.
Right.
Yeah, that's
or,
true.
Or you can't really evade cameras now these days.
Right.
Yeah, you cannot think of any
or drones if they're around.
And as soon as you start setting bombs off, it's not just local and federal authorities that are involved anymore. It's going to be local police. It's going to be state police. It's going to be FBI, CIA, NSA. All those guys are coming after you.
Well,
you cannot poop without them knowing
Yeah.
how many corn niblets were in it before you flush the toilet.
Well, it blew my mind because Nick was telling me, like, the FBI, when they released the things, they're like, Nick was saying, they don't need any more pictures. They know. You
I know.
And it's like, holy shit. Like, those guys got some manpower behind whatever the fuck their algorithm or the, you know, kids looking at pictures in the sweatshops, whatever the fuck they're doing.
Well,
that's
the
crazy.
point behind that is that they had gotten so many tips that as soon as they released the image of these people, like, then anyone could falsify any photo. Like,
but also there's the fact that they know.
Like, what would you Photoshop?
Right.
Yeah, I know, but then just like, I don't know.
I'd Photoshop a picture of those guys with a big
something.
asshole in the middle of their foreheads.
In Planet Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw them in Planet Hollywood.
But I mean, but the other thing too is you know that they've got they got an idea. They know exactly who they're looking for now.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so other tips or fucking photoshopped whatever is not going to sway their fucking
Right.
And then it goes back
put
to
them in Disneyland. They're not
because
gonna be like, whatever.
everyone was on Reddit for all this live updating stuff, but when they were like taking all the pictures they could gather and like trying to figure out themselves, like they were so dead wrong.
I know.
Like,
because they were
like,
doing the
so-
whole like this person's looking this way, the whole crowd is looking this way, but this guy's looking this way.
Yeah.
He's brown. He's got to be the terrorist.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's definitely bad, and it's like
And that's
why you're not an
even
expert.
more.
Right.
Oh no,
Like, that's gonna happen
because-
even more. And that's actually the scariest part about this whole thing. Isn't like virtually being there, like through the scanners, like through all the live blogs, like that.
Yeah.
That part's crazy, but it's also cool and informative
Yeah.
and awesome. But when you also have this hive mind that's like trying to compute the stuff and they're on the completely wrong track,
Right.
Sure.
Like
I
so
was
bad.
yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing today, and I was thinking my whole point or my thought it came to was this is why we have law enforcement and we've got experts.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they're
is
the one.
Yeah.
and this
Because-
is what happens when there's like witch hunts.
No matter how much they want to be, Reddit and B and something awful are not
Right.
law enforcement experts. They're
Right.
not, they're not capable
not
of doing
forensic
this stuff.
experts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
They're just not capable. And I'm sure, if you ask any of those guys, they'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, I could have tracked them down. But
Sure.
they can't.
Sure.
But
But
when
yeah,
the NSA starts realigning spy satellites to figure out where these guys are, that's what's going down.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with,
Yeah.
these guys on the internet.
Right.
And but the whole Reddit thing is, I was just saying to Keith, it like reminded me of witch hunts back in the day. Like a town says they're guilty, fucking their witches, kill them.
And
It's
then
like
that's after the New York Post, like
Right.
Criminy, wow.
yeah.
Right.
So it's like that's I'm happy.
Yeah,
like
that thing with the New York Post blew me away with the Saudi kid that they
Well,
were
I
posting
was
pictures
telling
of. And,
Kelly, last night or night before.
Yeah.
It's like New York Post is like, Reddit's on this. It sounds really good. Looks like they got a ton of evidence. We better run with this before anyone else does.
They got rid of the
They stepped on their dicks.
Yeah, guys.
Right. Yeah, and I saw some of those pictures. It was like a white dude and a Saudi guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
with backpacks that look exactly like because they make the same kind.
So
and then they were looking in different directions when stuff was happening.
Yeah.
From an aspect of journalistic responsibility, what happens now, or what would happen if those two guys that were falsely identified,
like
got
lynched
their
or something?
if they were fucking lynched, like
liable and everything.
Yeah, then the people and they can't really take it back to the guys at Reddit because that's all raw speculation.
Right.
It's just a bunch of guys
It's the
going, I
news.
think it's these dudes.
Yeah.
But then the New York Post,
they're completely
big
responsible.
news service, publishes it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the lawsuits?
Yeah.
It's like
Well, shit.
People
even
might
now
go to
with
jail
this,
over
with
that.
this picture. I was telling Nick, it's like I want to see these kids on the cover tomorrow with a headline: "New owners of the New York Post."
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, I'd sue the balls off of those guys. Defamation all day.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And I don't know what their trauma is, as a result, but it seems like everyone's kind of brushed off that. Like that.
Well, of course they have.
Yeah,
because it's not
everything just
Because back
escalates
in
so
the day,
quick.
because everyone's referring to Richard Jewell, who was the cop who was, they pointed him out as part of the '96 bombings in Atlanta for the Olympics.
Right,
They
right.
pointed out, like, dude, you're the one who found the bombs. Obviously, you planted them, and he for years.
Oh yeah,
He could not shake that.
Yeah, had all kinds of problems.
But these guys, I mean, like I said, I don't know their situation. They could be totally fine with it now.
I doubt it. I mean, I think there's always going to be some stigma attached to it.
I think
but
they'd be like some old granny, like,
But I think part of this
bomb the
though
marathon.
is how quickly everything changed. It went from that was last night or yesterday to now all of a sudden there's a shooting and all this stuff. Like maybe if the events didn't happen like that, then we'd still be lingering on that whole
mystery.
Yeah.
of the whole false blame on other people. But since all of a sudden it went from false blame to we've got the suspects, we're chasing them down. People don't care,
right?
About the
And
false blame.
they've got them. Forgive the expression, dead to rights.
Right.
They know it was these guys. You know,
Yeah.
they were launching explosives out of the car. They said that during the gunfight, the kids threw explosives at the cops.
Right.
Then they search their apartment and they find tons of rigged pressure cookers.
Right.
Sure.
Like, and by pressure cookers, guys, really?
Well, I'm
Really?
really glad that they got at least one of them alive.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, me too. I was so hoping that he wouldn't end up getting killed.
Or
Yeah.
him not offing himself.
Yeah. Well, and we were talking about that when I went to lunch today. I go to this particular sushi restaurant. The sushi chef and I, we talk all the time. And we were talking about, when the cops catch up with him, he's going to shoot. And when he gets down to a couple of bullets left, he's going to plug himself.
Right.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Right.
Because now maybe, for once, we can find out like what was going through this guy's head.
And it's not like the James Holmes thing where the dude's crazy.
Right.
There's nothing. You're not going to get anything out of him at this point.
Right.
His life is meaningless.
Yeah.
This kid was he was an intelligent person. He
Yeah.
was rational.
Yeah.
Got a scholarship. So
Yeah, so it's like, tell us,
Yeah.
we're sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different than the whole James Holmes thing where instead of somebody snapping, it was some kind of
Yeah, there was a plan.
Situation. Apparently, his brother is the agent that really brought him into this.
Sure, that's speculative.
Right. Everything
Well, sure,
we're saying
sure.
is speculative. Yeah.
Right.
We're just more educated at the speculativeness.
Yeah.
But I want to know. I want to know what happened. I want to know what motivated him. I want to know what he was trying to prove.
And that's the goal. Is like decades from now, we're gonna have like all of this material because there's so much material.
Yeah, I don't
about
think it's going to be decades. I think it's going to be within weeks.
I mean, like for people decades down the road.
Oh,
like,
sure,
they're gonna
sure.
have so
All
much
kinds of data and
information,
precedents.
so
Yeah.
See,
like you're gonna be able to precognitive
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I would totally love to know what's going on, but like for some reason my whole conspiracy side, even though it's like really tiny, like government is like gonna try to cover up stuff, is like it's gonna turn into they're gonna say he was not a citizen, so we're not gonna try him as just a crime. He's gonna be tried as a war terrorist or whatever, and then they're just gonna like shut it down. Everything's classified now.
Throw in Gitmo.
Yeah, and then
No,
everything's classified.
He's not going to Gitmo.
No, he's definitely not,
they're going to put him
but-
in some fucking broiler room somewhere, and there's going to be a couple of like CSI or CIA and NSA guys, like big no neck having, lead glove wearing sons of bitches, are going to put it to him for a while.
Cock meat sandwiches.
I don't think there's going to be any cock meat
I
sandwiches.
want to be in that first room, like when they're interrogating.
Oh, I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
Like,
I know.
that would, like, just to sit.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, dude,
Fly on
just
the
start
wall.
talking.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna turn this tape off. It's off the record.
yeah.
Sure.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Okay, well, I'm not saying that our government would ever engage in torture, but they're going to get information out of this kid, and they're going to get every last piece of information. All of the information will be given.
It'll be
it's
ours.
like-
Government, at least.
And it was weird to think that this kid is 19, and the situation he's put himself in, like, there's nothing more that he will ever accomplish in his life. Like,
Yeah.
he has thrown
Right.
it all away.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
his life
so-
is effectively
So
over.
while he's running and gunning, like, he could do anything.
Mhm.
It's so bizarre to think about.
Yeah, he could have, with his intelligence, his skill, his education. He could have been anybody. He could have signed up for that Mars project and gone to freaking Mars and been one of the first human beings to set foot on an alien planet.
Right.
But
But
then
instead-
he'd probably terrorize the Mars planet.
Right. He
The Mars planet. The Mars planet.
the Mars planet. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "How come we got an extra 10,000 pressure cookers?"
Oh.
but no, he could have done anything, and then because of whatever, like I said, religious or social or political agenda, he's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Done. And what's even worse, he didn't even get to accomplish whatever it was he set out to accomplish.
And then I've also
Also,
been reading
so
about
far
the,
that we speculative.
yeah, I've been reading about like the shut up. Reading about the victims and that, like the guy who was like right there as the bomb went off.
Yeah.
Like his legs just.
Oh yeah,
totally-
I saw a picture of him.
I
They
did
were
too,
taking him out on a
people were
wheelchair.
Candidly putting it on.
Oh, it was
Facebook.
rotten.
What's that about? You
Yeah.
want to see some gore, just like strong.
I know.
But it's
Yeah, that picture was horrible.
I know, but still, like,
Like-
people are on Facebook at work, and I mean, yeah, people are
Yeah,
eating
just
lunch while they're on
unfiltered.
Facebook.
Yeah, and that's the thing about like the internet, but that's a totally different
Yeah,
discussion.
yeah.
But it's like that. It's like the first thing he does, like he wakes up and it's like
Let me get a
bag,
notepad.
pen and paper bag. Saw the dude,
Right. Yeah.
right there, and then you see the pictures now of like the retard
Mhm.
placing the bag and the 3 victims that died.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a picture
Really?
of like
Yeah.
the little boy like standing up on
They're like right there, huh?
right there.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and
fucked,
the 2
man.
girls like.
Yeah. And
Wow. It's so weird.
yeah, and that's another thing. The victims, the one girl, Crystal, I believe was her name, the American girl, taking care of her sick grandmother, like busting her ass, working, trying to make a living for herself and take care of her sick grandmother. Gone. 8-year-old kid. They said like all the girls liked him. He was really personable, really nice kid. Gone.
Right.
And then the Chinese girl who, like they said, she was trying to find a boyfriend because like her parents were, oh, you got to find a boyfriend. You got to find a boyfriend. Again, really intelligent, whole life ahead of her, really promising. Poof.
Right.
Like how fucked is that?
Yeah. And I just want to just bring this up before we move on to something else. Is we talked about this a lot, and we can't forget about the plant explosion in West Texas, and then also there's been that cafe explosion in Iran a couple days ago, where like 37 people are dead, and it sucks with like that kind of stuff and that we're not really covering anything. We're not touching on it. We're talking about the Boston thing, and I just like to point out that we talk about the Boston stuff and this because we don't have in the U.S. terrorist stuff.
Right.
It sucks to say that it happens a lot in Middle Eastern countries.
Right.
So we don't really talk about it. We talked about it when it first happened, and then now as it just keeps going on, we're immune to
Yeah.
Or what is it, whenever you start seeing all the not safe for work stuff, you just kind of
Desensitized?
desensitized to that stuff. But whenever it kind of happens so close to home and we're a place where it doesn't happen a lot, that's why we talk about it a lot. But
Yeah, because this stuff is happening like to a 10 times bigger degree every single day.
Sure.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's so, like, you put that in perspective, yeah. And, I mean, it's just living day to day. Like, we could sit here and worry about everyone who's dying around the world all the time. We would accomplish, like, nothing.
Right.
Right, yeah,
It
absolutely.
sounds like we have absolutely no empathy saying that, but it's like, we can't get ourselves shaken up about that. We don't
Sure.
want that to happen, obviously.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
you know,
I just wanted to touch on that just so people didn't think that we were
Well, no,
didn't care about anybody else.
I would hope everyone would understand that locality has a lot to do with it.
Sure.
Like, for example, if it was something that happened here in Phoenix, we would be that much more focused on it.
Right.
I mean, you know, granted, Boston's still part of the United States, but shit, that's 3,000 miles away.
or even
Right.
when Waldo Canyon fire
Yeah, and I was
happening
live
last
blogging.
summer.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was a crappy live blog if there ever was.
And
I went to McDonald's. Fire's still going on, guys.
Hey.
yeah, that was pretty bad.
Hey guys.
But
I'm updating it. Can you see my updates?
I'm wondering when we're going to get to a point as a society, not just Americans, but the entire world, when we can just stop blowing each other up.
Yeah.
You know?
That, I mean, so many fundamental
Oh, I know.
things.
I know.
Sure.
So many fundamental things have changed.
And
Humans.
I think the only thing that's going to ever give us any real progress towards getting there is, and I hate to bring this up because I know a lot of people are going to be like, what the fuck is he talking about? This guy's
One world
crazy.
government.
No, it is when or if we ever discover that there's something else out there that's a bigger threat to us than we are to ourselves.
Right.
Sure. No,
And
Ooh.
then, you know, people are going to go, well, shit, we've got bigger things to worry about. We got bigger fish to fry than each other. I think that probably is going to be the only thing that's ever going to nudge us in that direction.
right.
Barring
Makes sense.
discovering some alien species that's way more technologically advanced than we are. Unfortunately, we're going to keep blowing each other up. And it really sucks that as a species, we're such a bunch of idiots that we just can't stop planting bombs on each other.
Well, we're animals.
Well, yeah, but we're intelligent animals for the most part.
Right. Exactly.
And-
That's where.
But it's like, I don't know. I mean, I could go on and on. I could spend the next hour on a
We
tirade.
all
and-
get a chip in the back of our brains. It's like an Asimov.
Yeah.
We can't, you know.
Wouldn't that
kill
be
each
nice?
other. That'd be pretty cool.
Get a little three
"Here's
rules
how to
chip.
kill you, but
Right.
All right. So what's next?
in lighter news,
let's talk about Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man.
Balls.
Exactly. I don't know if you've heard or not, but Robert Downey Jr. is no longer going to be in the Avengers 2 due to some, money issues. It's always
It's
It'll get
always
resolved.
money, man.
But it's like he's getting paid millions of dollars.
Got to get those more millions.
I don't know. I love Robert Downey. Like that's actually
I
the
do.
reason why I went to see Iron Man.
Yeah, so do I.
He's a great Iron Man.
He's great at everything.
He's a great
you know,
actor.
after he cleaned himself
He's a great
up, I mean,
man.
He's great.
Yeah.
You gotta pass it along at some point.
Well, I don't know. It bothers me because you have him, the third movie that's coming out soon,
Mm-hmm.
and then just a completely different actor. How are they going to explain why?
They're not just
He
like they
was
did
different.
Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
That's different. He wasn't even that. He wasn't even a major character. He was just
doesn't
like
matter.
the token black guy.
No.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa. Nah, I'm just kidding. But
Wow.
And why he's not?
but-
He wasn't the main character. Where Iron Man is, he's the main character of,
They could just easily.
Well, he's the main character of Iron Man.
Yeah.
exactly. And,
Yeah.
but he's
Not of
he's-
Avengers.
When you associate Iron Man, you think Robert Downey Jr. You always
Well, yeah, absolutely. Robert
Yeah.
Downey Jr. is Iron Man, and
Right.
and putting a different character in that, or a different actor into that character.
I mean, look at
Let's blame Robert Downey Jr. too.
They'll sort it out.
Incredible Hulk over the
Let's
past
do.
decade. He's been played like 20 different people have played the Incredible Hulk.
I still think Ed Norton was the best.
I have no opinion because Hulk is dumb.
Well, yeah, but of all the Hulks,
there's
I'd
a
like
reason
Edward
why
Norton the
there's
best.
multiple actors for
And then
that
you
one.
got sleepy ass Mark Ruffalo.
Oh,
Hey,
Jesus.
guys. So,
Yeah.
I'm the Hulk.
I didn't think he was that bad. Whatever.
Actually, the
I'm
difference
all
of him
saying.
just being like kind of a calm guy, and then just like
Because that was all the
like
CG.
savage.
Sure.
I know, but just
Yeah.
like his
Hey, guys.
So laid
his
back.
character of like a person, just like kind of almost relaxed, like I have to make myself this way,
Right.
otherwise.
Sure.
Yeah, I was
Well,
feeling
and
it.
he-
I was feeling it.
Bruce Banner was supposed to be mild mannered. He's
Sure.
supposed to be calm and relaxed, and maybe even a little too calm and relaxed. But I didn't really like I didn't like him in that role.
I don't like that movie anyway.
I liked
He's-
Edward Norton because he could go, he has that, at least in that role, he had the intellectual thing going, but he also had that sort of frantic, like, holy shit, my life is unraveling and there's nothing I can do about it sort of thing.
Sort of.
I like that.
I see Ed Norton. I cannot break away from his Fight Club.
Yeah, I know.
Every time it's like that's
See,
the dude from Fight
To
Club.
me, anything to do with Fight Club is an afterthought with it. I think of Primal Fear. I think of American History X.
See, I wasn't a big fan of American History X.
I didn't care for the movie overall, but I liked his character in the movie, and I liked the way he portrayed that character.
Sure, I just that's how I think everyone loves Edward Norton. Like, even though he's a good actor,
Yeah.
and I think he's been in other incredible stuff.
Yeah.
He was in the last Bourne movie, obviously.
Yeah.
And I liked him in that too.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
I see Ed Norton. I don't think Bruce Banner. I think Jack's Raging Bile Ducks.
Wow.
So
See, like I said, for me, that's an afterthought. I don't really ever think about with anything he does. I don't think about him in Fight Club. But I mean, that's just me.
Sure.
This is just me.
In fact, I more often see him in the role in American History X than anything, because I was so like blown away by, he did Primal Fear and a couple other movies where he's this little skin and bones toothpicky guy, and then all of a sudden American History X, he's like fucking yoked out and like, how'd you do that? And then like the very next movie he did, he's all skinny and like
he did that one with Ben Stiller and
like
Keeping the Faith.
how do you do that?
You're an actor.
I guess,
That's Jeff, dude.
but
We're talking about something.
we're talking about Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr.
like,
not playing.
Robert Downey.
Robert Downey Jr. I'm more disappointed that it's John Hamm because I don't get the John Hamm.
I can see it because if you watch Mad Men, you see this businessman but I don't think it carries over. I don't know if it's gonna play that same character.
Yeah, that's my concern. I was like, in like Bridesmaid, like both of them, he's just like this muted, kind of stuffy, kind of. Like,
He doesn't seem like he can throw the whole comedic line or
I don't think
zingers,
he's gonna have
He
the
does,
wit.
hey, I'm Iron Man.
Right.
Right, that's a
Women
big part of it is
are
that
rich,
cocky arrogance
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Robert
Like, I
Downey
can
can
see
do
him,
so
like,
well.
Sitting, with a
I
glass.
see
Right.
John Hamm more
Smoking
as
a
like a
cigar.
Superman type of.
Yeah, that would be the worst movie ever.
It would be.
be.
I'm John Hamm and I'm Superman.
Look at me.
Look at me. Let's do some ads.
Yeah.
Speaking of Superman,
should have got Mark.
did you see the trailer for the new Superman?
That looked
that's
incredible.
okay.
Yeah.
That looked amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I
okay.
hate Superman, except for 2. Superman,
Oh, that with the
General
Zod and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That was
I especially
great.
like the part in the diner where he comes back and kicks the dude's ass.
Right at the end there?
Yeah.
Or I like the giant,
Freaking out.
like, plastic sheet
Yeah,
Superman
yeah.
logo that he just flings at. That's so great. No, but Superman is so lame. Like, and they have...
Yeah, kind of.
I'm trying to remember the last good Superman film, and I guess that was 2.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate me for this. I actually liked Superman Returns.
The one that just the one that was came
Y-
out.
yeah,
Bryan
with-
Singer.
That singer.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
I like when the dude shot him in the eyeball and the bullet just like shattered.
Alright.
I thought it was cool.
That part was cool. The rest of the movie, no.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
It was really campy, and I don't particularly care for campy, but
I didn't really pick up the. I got the. Johnny talked about it all the time. It's like he was so interested in making the sequel to Superman 2 that he like got bogged down with this non-actor who looks like Christopher Reeve.
yeah,
I'm attributing this to Johnny, but I think he was talking about it. It's like
Yeah.
he spent so much time paying tribute to Superman instead of making Superman awesome.
right.
Like when they're sitting there spending like at least 45 minutes flying around the Lois Lane.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
like,
Well, that part was.
movie is like that.
And then the one actress, and I can never remember her name. She annoys the piss out of me.
Parker Posey?
Yeah, her.
Uh-huh.
Like her parts in that movie. A lot of her parts in that movie. That's what I'm talking about when I say it was campy. Like just the part in the car, and there was just a bunch of silly shit that they did that they didn't need to do.
Like when she's driving
Yeah.
up the...
Yeah.
See, I saw the opposite end of that where I'm thinking of Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, campy as hell. It was so awesome.
I love Gene Hackman as
that
Lex
was
Luthor.
great. And then Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. Hey guys, I'm Lex Luthor. Wrong. You know that was the worst thing. In the
I think it actually would have been better if it would have been Kevin Spacey doing Christopher Walken as Lex Luthor.
Hey, it's me, Superman, and here to save your world. Super high from the yellow sun. Hey.
All right, so on that, what's next?
Well, while we're on the subject of actors being kind of misplaced in their character, like John Hamm as Iron Man, let's talk about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Dude, I'm so mad that they're even thinking about it.
They need to stop.
It's not being thinking.
I was
it's
okay
it's
with
going
it.
to be made.
Yeah, I was okay with it until they said that April O'Neil will be played as Megan Fox.
What?
Yeah.
No.
With Michael Bay, yeah.
No, I'm not watching. I thought Michael Bay fired her for life
I know, exactly. That's what I thought.
because
too.
she called him a Nazi and stuff.
Michael Bay is not phased.
Well, there's
get
clearly
that,
something
you
wrong
know
with
what
it.
I'm saying?
So
He's
Toe
thinking
Thumbs
he
is
can-
going to play April O'Neil.
Yeah, he's thinking that he can save that action.
I was telling them it's like April O'Neil is the girl next door,
Right.
not Megan Fox.
Well, I mean, if the girl next door is a skank with toe thumbs, then yeah, Megan Fox is the girl next door. But
Deja vu.
yeah, right. Yeah, that's just so bad. Now, if they were gonna do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the way the original graphic novels were written, where they're like it's blood and gore and swearing and like all of the turtles are constantly "fuck you" and like I'd be okay with it. I want to see that movie.
But no one wants to make it.
Right, which is unfortunate. But I
Gotta make it
don't
make
ever
sense,
want to
dude.
see the campy, fun little kids Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ever again.
Go Ninja.
Yeah, I don't ever want to see Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. Ninja
I wanna
Rap.
see that shit
is
some more.
horse
I did
shit.
not understand the point of that until many, many years later. That's vanilla.
Right.
Really?
I did not, dude. It's like some dudes are like singing Go Ninja. Who's that dude with the weird hair? I
The
don't
whitest
understand.
rapper ever. Well, him and Snow.
Him and some shady man.
Nah.
But because I grew up on Turtles. Like everyone, like the
Sure.
people who were just before me had Transformers or something.
Yeah.
But God, we would sit there in like gym class. It's like, well, something's broken, so we're just gonna sit here and watch the Turtles movie again.
Live action.
Well,
shit.
I mean,
The live action. That first live action movie was weird
The way
because it was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like so like,
Awesome.
It's darker than
Yeah.
the second. Because the second one, like, and then the third one, we don't
Oh
want
my
to talk
gosh,
about that.
the third
But
one.
that the first one is because it was like, from what I remember, like most of it's at night, and then like there are these scenes where like everything's in sketch, and then they like fade to the turtle.
That was cool.
I don't remember any of that movie. It was like too much. I remember Casey Jones.
yeah, with the hockey sticks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was-
I was watching the cartoon, and that was the version for me.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. Like, of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came a little later in my life than they would have for you.
Sure.
But I still like to me, my growing up with the Turtles was fuck you, die,
Right.
stab, stabby, blood.
Then I can
You know.
understand Kevin Jordan. What's
Oh
his
gosh,
name?
I don't remember.
The creator?
Yeah. Something 2 syllables for a last name. But
Right.
yeah, he's like really influential, and I remember all the time. Yeah, he'd complain about what they did to his turtles.
Yeah. Oh, they ruined them. They ruined the
He
Turtles.
made the dollars.
And that's great for him. He obviously got incredibly rich off of his creation,
Kevin Eastman. There we go.
but they ruined it. They destroyed the Turtles.
For
And
me,
I want to see.
You know?
I want to see. Gosh, what's his name? The guy that did like the Dark Knight.
Nolan?
Christopher Nolan. I want to see Christopher Nolan get a hold of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
that'd be too weird.
No, that would be badass. That would be badass. Because you'd have like Leonardo just straight crushing heads.
It'd be played by Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, because I don't.
No, don't ever even insinuate that. Keith, slap him.
I don't think Nolan is the guy to do like a super grisly. Like I think he has his limits.
Well, I don't even necessarily want grisly. I want dark. I want gritty. I want
Batman.
no. Fuck Batman.
Inception.
I don't like Batman.
The
I-
new ones?
No, I haven't liked any of them.
So why are you saying Christopher Nolan?
Because of the
That's
feel.
him. Well, aside from the Prestige.
because of the feel. I don't like Batman just because I don't like Batman. I didn't really care for any of the original movies. Now, okay, of the Batman movies, the Christopher Nolan ones are
Who
better.
doesn't like Batman?
I don't like Batman. But I like the dark, gritty feel that Christopher Nolan portrays in his films. Right. And I would like to see that with the Turtles.
Yeah.
I just actually, you know what? I think part of the reason I don't like the new Batman films is because of Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why? I mean, this is not do it for you.
Because he's not John Hamm.
Yeah, he just in that role, he just doesn't do it for me.
I can see that.
He's not. He's not. I don't know.
Was the best. Batman.
I enjoyed Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Yeah, but Val Kilmer's too fat to fit in the suit now.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just make a bigger suit.
Right.
That looked ridiculous.
Like, just get Joel Schumacher and you've like molded the fat rolls into this.
Wow. Into the abs.
Spencer or something.
Yeah.
Into the ab cutouts.
Hey guys, stop! Fling fling.
I'm gonna get you with my Bat Twinkie.
Oh, they don't make any more.
No, dude, he's Batman. He'd have like a whole cave full of Twinkies.
Yeah, no, you would have had to buy them in bulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bought all the Twinkies.
But that's why they don't exist. Anyway,
All right. Well, yeah, go ahead. Move us on.
What you got? What you got?
No, I was gonna say I wanted to move on to the next stuff.
Let's. I'm curious to know what you.
Yeah, what do you think?
I wanted you to move us on. I was gonna have this super awesome transition. I was gonna say, speaking of replacing actors, R.I.P.D.
Okay. Yeah.
That would have been a good transition.
It's rest in peace department.
And then AKA Men in Black without
Ghosts.
Men in Black with Ghosts.
Oh, that thing you guys were talking about.
Did you not? You haven't seen the trailer yet?
No.
Oh my god. We're gonna have to. Nick will have to do some magic and pause it, and we can watch it. Yeah. That's
This is really good.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of green.
Look at all this card chase
Right
action.
Right.
Look at all that quick.
Was that a nipple?
Sure.
Nah, there was.
All right, so let me go ahead and briefly explain what it was. So Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges are in the movie.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds.
I kind of like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and Jeff Bridges too. Yeah, from especially after.
Jeff Bridges, fuck that dude.
Ryan Reynolds would make a good Batman because he's very quippy.
You know,
Sure.
I feel like
He's already a superhero. He
Am I right or am I right?
I think you make a pretty good Green Lantern.
Right.
Actually, Deadpool. He'll be perfect for Deadpool.
Yeah.
What about Van Wilder? Like, I don't think this is being cast.
All right,
No.
so
R.I.P.D.
Yeah, so R.I.P.D. It like opens up. You see Ryan Reynolds. He's dying.
Swat.
He's a cop. He dies on the job. Taken up to heaven. Speculatively.
Spoiler alert.
Speculative.
Yeah.
Speculatively to heaven. We don't know exactly where he was going. We just see Mary Louise Parker.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, you're dead, but you're awesome at your job, and we want you to be a cop and basically get the people that are escaping, the ghosts that are escaping." And then it's like all of a sudden you see Jeff Bridges like pow pow, shooting a monster.
Western.
Right, shooting a ghost monster.
Cowboy hat.
Yeah.
It's
a ghost monster. Yeah.
Wait,
And
so do the ghosts have to go through like a ghost registration process? And
that's
then,
what it looks like. It
like
looks
if they try to leave the
that's what it looks
netherworld
like.
without
The
proper
point is-
travel
They
authorization.
escape judgment.
yeah.
Right.
So
Does
then-
Ryan Reynolds carry a gun called the Noisy Cricket?
We don't know
they
yet.
have these revolvers
Yeah.
that are super long bullets.
Revolvers.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are their names? Q and R?
No, they actually
maybe J and K.
we don't know exactly what their names are, but we know that they're down on heaven. They don't look like Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges.
That's right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're dead.
Yeah,
so
'cause they're
what
dead.
they're doing is they're just inhabiting other bodies.
So guess who Ryan Reynolds is?
Ryan Reynolds?
No, he's an old Chinese dude.
Yeah, and
And-
then Jeff Bridges is this hot blonde.
Chick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or dude. I mean,
No,
Okay.
it's definitely a chick.
But
So-
basically, they're walking around.
So like Mr. Miyagi with Ryan Reynolds' voice.
Yeah, no, you don't see that.
Yeah.
The
We
swords.
see. Yeah, we're gonna see them as Ryan Reynolds,
We
but
see
every
them.
time
They're
they look in a
flies.
mirror.
Okay,
interact with somebody
okay,
else. That's
okay.
what everybody else. sees.
That's a relief because I'm thinking like Mr. Miyagi voiced by Ryan Reynolds, and I'm thinking, no, this is not going to work.
Yeah, no, we see them. The movie people see.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Just kind of like what happened with the Dead Like Me TV show.
Yeah.
You guys ever watched that?
Yeah.
That same thing. Yeah,
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
So it looked great. It looked funny. You know what it looked like. Nick was saying.
And then as soon as I pop up the trailer, it's like, this is Men in Black.
Yeah, because the ghosts look like aliens from Men in Black.
Which is that's weird. How do ghosts look like aliens?
Who knows?
They're like Martian ghosts?
Who knows? That's what I was trying to tell
Well,
Nick
like,
whenever he was trying to say it's Men in Black. I said, how do we know
What
A,
ghosts
what
or
aliens look
look
like,
like?
B, what ghosts look like? So shut your mouth. It's not Men in
I
Black.
said that it looked like Men in Black, and because in Men in Black, like, they look like anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they look like just kind of uncanny
Whatever,
valley
yeah.
based.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Uncanny Valley based CGI.
And that's all the time.
Wow.
Jar Jar.
Oh,
All right, come on. Don't derail us, Nick.
Too late.
Sorry. But seriously, like, the whole pitch, the whole, like, Bridges is Tommy Lee Jones,
right.
and Ryan Reynolds is this cocky
Rookie.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. It's Men in Black.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
make no mistake about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I
Well,
still wanna see
I
it.
mean,
I still wanna see
I'm
it.
not necessarily. I'm not necessarily
I'm not opposed.
adverse to watching
Yeah.
Men in Black with ghosts.
Probably going to be awesome.
But at the same time, it's like, I enjoyed Men in Black, the original.
Yeah.
I even enjoyed 3 to an extent.
Yeah.
But it's like, Men in Black with ghosts. I don't know.
Might as well just make
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 3. So I guess
They are.
They have been.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd.
That's-
No, Dan
that's
Aykroyd.
not good.
Dan Aykroyd is on record saying that they are writing the script.
Yeah.
They have
And-
the script.
but
and it's going to be made.
everyone on
In a
board.
Canadian interview
No,
in
there's-
2003, he said, "Yeah, Ghostbusters 3 is a real thing, dog."
Yeah.
No,
See that?
wasn't Bill Murray a standout on that? Like he wasn't going to do it?
Yeah, no, he's not. He's
I had heard he is going to do it.
I've heard he is now. Like,
Yeah, I read he's on board now.
It's very
Yeah.
much they're going to be in there like cameos.
Yeah, because because this is what Dan Aykroyd was saying is that they're hiring new
People.
young bloods from the I can't remember what school, Cambridge.
Cambridge?
No, it's
Cambridge.
definitely not there. Sorry, yeah, definitely not there. It's like Columbia University. That's what it was. And so these are new students from Columbia University that are coming in to be Ghostbusters.
Wait, so is this like Ghost Hunters Academy with proton packs?
Well, yeah. It's because the guys were the one guy who was a scientist or whatever, and they're all kind of sciencey. So they trying to look for the best, and I guess they found some people that are like them at Columbia University. So they're kind of recruiting these 4 people from Columbia University.
Well, and it's like at this point they're going to have, it'll be like their grandchildren that are.
Yeah, pretty
right.
much. Yeah, they
You know?
they said too. It's like we're just gonna be old and brittle and trying to pass the torch.
Yeah, because they've been talking. Like I remember on Team Xbox, like, oh my gosh, it's really happening.
Sure.
Dan Aykroyd interview 2003.
But it's really happening.
But I know it's really happening.
It does need to happen.
Yeah, it's going. It's
I
going.
wanna
to
see some
here's the
Ghostbusters.
thing, it's a toss up because it's been talked in so long. Like they could.
It's because it takes a long time to make a movie, Nick.
Yeah, like
Movies aren't made overnight.
I'm also concerned about Ivan Reitman's track record because he's been rumored to direct for a while, and his track record as of recently has not been
Yeah.
great.
Well, if his son was to direct it, I'd be all on board.
You know, that's. I like what you're
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can pick up what you're getting at. Yeah.
All right. So what else you got for us today, Keith?
What was that?
What else you got for us? Since we
I think
got
we're hitting
distracted.
over a little bit an hour now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're just a hair over now. We're at an hour and 42 seconds.
Yeah. Well, do we have something? Do we have something really quick? Or,
We can talk about Path if you want to talk about Path.
no, that's
Why would you even bring that
I'm
shit
just
up?
kidding. We're not talking about Path.
No.
Path is a great social network,
It's
guys.
pretty bad.
No.
You can put a smiley on everything.
Now we can talk about Star Wars and how.
Oh, that's gonna take forever.
We'll just end it on Star Wars.
What do we want to talk about with Star Wars?
There's multiple movies. Cool story, bros.
Oh,
2015.
2015,
yeah,
16,
yeah.
17, 18, 19, 20,
That's
21, 22.
That's good. I think there's been, like, we can yammer on about how terrible I like the original trilogy.
So did I.
Canon. Just for the fact that they are canon, even if they weren't the greatest movies. But I think there was a significant value in the fact that they only had 6 of them and they were released every 3 years, and that built on the rare. But if you're gonna have one every year, there's gonna be this huge brand dilution, and they're not gonna
And we're jumping on
yeah.
sequel bandwagon that we're sequelitis that we've been trying to get out of with video games and movies.
Yeah, but
And it's like,
this
hey,
is
just more.
as long as they follow canon. There's actually a lot of stories still to be told. You know?
Star Wars is big, and that's why the expanded universe is really cool.
Yeah.
In that regard, since the films are like the highest level of canon, to have a billion more of those, not only dilutes the films, it kind of dilutes everything below that too. And of course, and then you get the Star Trek problem where now you've got so much universe out there. Yeah, there's so much universe out there that you have to work around all this stuff now.
Dude, that new Star Trek trailer.
That's been their best yet, but I'm still not as buzzed about this one as I was the first.
Speaking of the Star Wars, though, is you posted Patton Oswalt's rant. That was great. Yeah.
Rant. Have you guys seen that?
No.
So for Parks and Rec, he plays this like concerned citizen, and he's like trying to delay the city council vote. Amy Poehler's there.
Okay.
And they told him, Patton Oswalt, to just go up there and just improvise a filibuster.
Okay.
So what he does, and there's this video just uncut, like him filibustering for 8 minutes about Star Wars and what he wants
new
to
Star
do.
Wars.
Okay.
About what he wants Episode 7. Don't interrupt me, I'm filibustering. I am not giving you the floor.
Right.
And he's just on and on for 8 minutes. He's talking about Star Wars, like, it starts out like totally legitimate, like, you know, Boba Fett's crawling out of the Sarlacc pit, and then he's like, then Thanos from Ultimate Guardians of Marvel, and then there's a rip in space-time, and
here comes
Tony
Iron
Stark,
Man.
Yeah. And they realize that there's this thing, and it just goes on, and it's great.
Yeah, it was great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's on our website.
Wow.
So on that note, we're done.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Go to our website and read and watch.
Yeah.
FleshEatingZipper.com.
FleshEatingZipper.com, Facebook.com/FleshEatingZipper.
Don't do it.
No, not the Google. Oh, Jesus.
No.
Call us.
I was actually this close to it.
Yeah, Twitter.com / or Twitter.com at FezHQ.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep.
And at FezHQ Jesus, that's us.
Yep. At FezHQ on Twitter. 202-670-9660.
That's correct. That's our phone number.
Yeah.
Give us a call. Leave us a voicemail.
Do it.
And tell us how awesome we are.
Listen again. Like Kelly's always like suggesting topics.
Right. Hey, you want to call up and then tell me how I could do my taxes even though they're late or something. Give me some tax advice. That would be good for next week's show.
Actually, you know what I'm going to throw out there
Taxes are over with.
we do have the bro show coming up next week.
Next week.
Jump on the forums, forum.flesheatingzipper.com.
Yes.
Give us some suggestions, some stuff you'd like to talk about. Also, feel free to leave us a voicemail. Tell us what kind of things you'd like to talk about.
Air.
Yeah, online.
Yeah,
On the
send us an
live.
email, hello@flesheatingzipper.com. Yeah, just talk about the stuff you want us to talk about. Because that's pretty much the bro show's sort of open forum. We'll talk about just about anything.
I won't talk about that.
Okay, Meatloaf.
Sure.
But yeah, so just leave us some suggestions.
Yes.
Or I'll kill you.
Just
Whoa. Now we're just kind of...
whoa. Disclaimer: Rob will not kill you. You will have to sign a form first.
Okay.
We do have duct tape sitting on this chair. I'm just saying. I don't know what that would be for. All right.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's gonna be it for.
We had such a great transition earlier. And
I did. And I completely ruined my awesome transition.
Yeah, you killed
From
someone
earlier.
else.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
Bye.
We're gonna duct on out of here.
Oh Jesus.
We're gonna John Hamm our way out.
Woo!
No, not at all. Not at all. So I'm Rob.
I'm Nick.
and I'm Keith,
And I'm Kelly.
and this was another Fez Bro Show.
Which
Pro
number
show.
though?
Pro
Which,
show.
which one
Pro-
was it?
Pro show.
This
This is 3.
This
Pro
is
show 3.
Bro show.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
Bro
because
shows.
That's right. I wasn't there for the second one.
Yeah.
what?
So 2 for me, but
This is the
Yeah.
pro
Yep.
pro show trio.
You know, it's going to be crazy because you're going to be able to
Pro
look
show.
at the Wikipedia article for Flesh Eating Zipper. Keith Downey was host of the Pro Show for 900 episodes, except for one early in their first season,
Right.
where he was replaced by Nick. It was the worst rated show of all time. Keith later said when he made his millions, "Why did I do it?"
Yeah,
Why did I
right.
miss this? Oh.
oh goodness.
It was a
All
flaming
right.
train wreck. All right, bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.